Can you introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Francisca.
I'm this Benjamin.
I'm Melina's dad. I'm an engineer with government contractor. Been in the job for about 40 years now since I retired from the Navy after 25 years.
And you can't really use a picture of a person's face because the main thing that Cube is reading is like the contours of your face. So if it's flat, you're not gonna facial recognition. So there's not like
Use of mask more and more prevalent in our society. Is it going to take that into account? Is it going to throw it off?
Yeah, if you wear mask, then the recognition score gets lower. So you'll have
to like lower it.
That's kind of fundamentally unavoidable. Like a person also, a human being also will have a little bit more trouble at least recognizing someone with a mask.
Right.
Do you have any like software questions?
Do you run a certain specific program on it, or is it something that y'all designed?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
So do you run an already designed program, or is it, did y'all code it and design the program to run it in your development?
So we use different kind of frameworks, but we write all of the codes to control the motors and all of the other applications.
Right.
The OS actually.
The OS is Debian, so it's kind of Linux.
Okay. So when I was doing my programming classes, it was DOS way back in the day, and then it was C++ was the last one I really done any programming in. So they're both semi-old at this point, but yeah.
Yeah, I think like a lot of programming codes now is in Python or JavaScript, like for the new ones. Yeah.
What do you think of like it only being like 6-7 people and like bringing it from really a prototype until like mass production to like it's being sold, right? There's like a lot of being sold right now.
It's a smaller thing. I'm sure that you had the design team, you had software. You had a couple of guys doing the software to make it work. You had mechanical and electrical engineers as far as the motors and the movement on it goes. I mean, I think it's a smaller team, but produced a pretty good result from what I've seen so far.
Thank you.
How do you feel like it could be used in America? Because the target demographic to sell it to guys your age to like use it in like their businesses and stuff. Where do you feel like it could be like used?
It'd be a great security tool. And when COVID came out, we ended up getting this in our office. We got this humongous, bulky, almost the size of it was like 4.5 foot tall thermometer where we had to scan on our way before we could go into the building. We would have to scan and it would give us our temperature reading. And if our temperature reading was, above 99 or whatever, I can't remember what the exact number was, then we weren't allowed to go in the building. As far as the facial recognition, I think it can make places a lot more secure. And with the technology and the thievery and the hackers making a building a lot more secure as far as with facial recognition. And it also could be used as far as a lot less space, but able to help out with the whole, the next COVID, the next issue that comes down the line, because I don't think it's really going to go away. I think it's just going to be implemented.
So I think another big thing about it is that all the data is stored in the cube. It's not connected to any like cloud service in terms of security because you kind of work in like a high security place. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
So it has an internal hard drive. That's what you're saying.
So the cube can work by itself locally. It doesn't have to be connected to any cloud service. Right. I think she's trying to ask if you feel that is a more secure solution compared to a thing that is always connected to the internet. Is that right?
Being old school, I think it is, but then I don't know what kind of secure type data that you would be risking if someone picked say cube up and took it away with them and then tried to get that information off of. Is it encrypted data?
Yeah, the data is encrypted.
Okay. So if someone removed the cube without permission, stole the cube, unless they have the decryption, they're not allowed to, or they could not access that data.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
I like the way it's going. I mean, as stuff gets smaller and more advanced, everything keeps getting smaller, but does more stuff. I mean, cell phones started out big, got small, got big again, got small. It's great. It's great technology. If I had started out more not military, this is what I would love to be doing with my time, is designing stuff like what y'all have designed. So it's right down my alley as far as what I like to see. If it just played my 8-track tapes would be good. You'd have to put the 8-track tape comment in there.
Isn't it like you can't even find those?
Yeah, I have 2 that I got at a yard sale. I don't think nobody in this but me knows what an 8-track tape is.
You showed me, but I didn't really understand.
Yeah, it's mid-70s technology in the state. You can only fast forward. You can't even rewind the tape.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's pretty much it, unless
Thank you for your time today, guys.
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thank you very much.
we're agreeing.
So it was a nice opportunity to be able to talk to a veteran engineer, especially the one from the US, because so far I've been only be able to talk to young engineers or Japanese engineers. It was nice to be able to listen what is his impression of PLEN Cube if the cube is going to be employed in the US, and he seems to think that the cube will be employed well in the US, and especially the one that gives me the most impression is that he thinks that the speed of the cube's face recognition is fast, while in Japan, like in general, people want it to be faster. And he said that it's because he is used to wait for a lot of things, progress more slowly in the US. And there's also a lot of difference between Japan and the US. So for example, you cannot let children to be alone in the house. So some practical use of the cube cannot be applied in the US.
We had an interview with Mr. Hedden, who is an engineer in America, and he had some interesting comments to make about the PLEN Cube. He expressed some appreciation for the design of the cube. Specifically, he liked compact size and shape, and head gestures that the cube makes in the head motions, which he said make it more interactive and pleasant than, for example, if you were just staring at a static and fixed cube that doesn't move. Another feature that we talked about during the interview was feature the cube has of sending an alert to parents when their kid arrives at school and makes an attendance through the cube. He thought that this would be a nice feature that would be welcome in the United States if the cube was employed there. Regarding the module that the cube has for analyzing emotions through someone's voice, he said that this one, the clients who use this module should be careful about what kind of policies they build around it. And finally, he expressed a couple of times his enthusiasm for robotics in general. And I really felt that he wanted to see them appear more in the world, and I'm sure many people share that feeling as well.